Good evening, everybody. 5 o'clock, I'd like to welcome everybody to the June South Range Board of Education meeting. We'll start things off by Mr. Nero calling the roll.
Tyler Bates. Here. Jack Dawson. Here. Elizabeth Johnson.
Here.
Terry Lally.
Here.
Brian Bagwell.
Here. At this time, we'd like to observe a moment of silence for anything you have on your mind this evening. Followed by that, we'll stand for the pledge. Okay, please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the first item for agenda approval, I would like to make a motion to make modification to the agenda for this evening. So I'm gonna make a motion to amend the agenda, we just need a second.
I'll second.
So, Mr. Bates seconds. And that amendment is, we'd like to strike the assistant high school cheerleader supplemental position at this time from the agenda. We'll revisit that next month. So I move to strike that position. And then we just need a second for that.
Second.
Tyler seconds again. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, so with that agenda adjustment, is there anything else that we need to discuss as far as agenda goes? If not, we can approve that amended agenda with the motion.
I'll move.
Tyler moves, Jack seconds. All in favor?
Okay.
Opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved. And at this time, we'll kick over to Dr. Spolnick for superintendent recognitions.
I gotta peek over Liz's, there we go. So with that being said, yes, wanted to give a quick shout out to, a little spoiler alert, in July, we will give Ruby Cleveley as well as some other speech and debate students. They're currently competing at the national tournament, and Ruby is a state champion. And we also have a top 30 finisher going on right now. So Ms. Freifel will send me updates as we go, and I said once it's all set in stone, send it to us, and we'll honor our speech and debate competitors at the July board meeting. So that's just a little spoiler. We'll do certificates and so forth for those students. So that's all I have for student celebrations.
Okay. At this time, we'd open up the floor for public participation for agenda items. We ask you to limit it to 2 minutes per speaker, and give us your name. Seeing as there's none, we can go ahead on to the communications. Dr. Spolnick again?
Yeah, first I'd like to celebrate our students and staff on a great school year. We are already preparing for next year. Last week, we collaborated with the Education Service Center to look at data to identify areas of strength and opportunities for next year and then create action plans. Next, I'd like to congratulate our softball team coaches for their state runner-up performance, as well as our baseball team for their regional appearance. And also congratulations to Emmett Slabaugh for earning 5th in the 1600 at the state meet. Last week, or a few weeks ago now, Mario and I submitted a grant for over $160,000, a security grant for fencing around Rominger Stadium, some lights, parking lot, and so forth. And we're just waiting to hear where we are with that grant. I think applications were due by the end of June 17th. So we're working hard to secure the grant dollars aligned with our Greater Way goals. Additionally, thank you to the union leadership of both the teachers and the classified staff for their time and effort to negotiate their respective contracts. Also, I'd like to thank Dr. Tara Pickens of the Nutrition Group on her recent move to Toronto City Schools. Dr. Tara was the long-term replacement for Caitlin, who went on maternity leave. And we are for communications.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda. First item is the minutes from the May 15th board meeting. If anybody had any changes or adjustments, now would be the time. If not, it moves over to Mr. Nero.
Excuse me, provide with May ending month-ending financial reports. We received our catastrophic, which is now called threshold cost, on June 12th. We got roughly $54,719 for that catastrophic. As part of the state budget, they withhold a certain dollar amount from our state funding for this threshold cost. And for this year, they withheld $28,000, so the net impact, we got an additional $26,000 state funding for the catastrophic cost. And then you'll notice later in the agenda about transferring to the cafeteria fund. Met with Holly, she's a Caitlin supervisor. There was a change to where any unpaid, any negative balances in student accounts, we can't keep a fiscal year with a negative. So essentially there's different options you can do, which I have in the treasurer's notes. Essentially what we're gonna do is transfer from the general fund to cover that balance. And each student that we had to transfer to cover that negative amount get assigned a fee to eventually try to collect that dollar amount. So that was the change for fiscal year end. That's about it. Any questions on the financial reports?
So whatever amount you, if you do end up collecting delinquent funds, that goes back into the general.
Yeah, so essentially we're moving to the cafeteria, so then that's
So you can zero it out.
zeroed it out, and then to collect that money, we're paying student paying to their accounts to those who collected that time.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Nero? With that, we'll move to the personnel limited contracts.
Yeah, motion to approve Karen Knotts, curriculum coordinator, funding source, state restricted funding, that's with those gifted dollars. We can only use gifted dollars through the restricted funding for four or five different reasons. And Karen is going to be helping with a lot of the data, the gifted, the testing, a lot of assessments. Jacqueline is the director, and Karen kind of reports with Jacqueline, to Jacqueline, for some of those areas to help us get better. And this is really to get us moving forward in the future, where we'd like to identify an existing staff member to get them some certification to have a gifted endorsement license, GIS, which is where the state really wants you to use that money, which we don't have in staff credit. Next is motion to approve the following certified resignation, Mr. Cassie as the Title I teacher. And then continuing with the supplemental contracts, we have a whole host, and what we did here is we added in the percentages that we do for those various positions. Some of them, they were board approved without the percentages back in May. Others we're approving today with the corresponding percentages. And this list is ever growing as coaches, get on board, and percentages are split and so forth. So in July, we'll have another table with a whole list of percentages and board approval dates. Continuing on item E, motion to approve the following non-bargaining unit member for the additional 2% for holding the same supplemental position for the 23-24 and 24-25 school year, and that's Mr. Paul Munson for the assistant baseball. Looking at item G, motion to approve the following extended supplemental contracts, and those three individuals, that's all within the contract. The two intervention specialists get the 3 days, and then Mr. Lewis with high school band. We are currently collecting those as well. We had some vacations and so forth, so as we collect more of them with our paperwork, the July board meeting will have additional extended days. Continuing, motion to approve the following employees for extended year contract for 6 days at their data rate, and this is for, I believe, ESY services, extended school year services, students with disabilities. This is Caputo and Natassi. Continuing, motion to approve the following supplemental staff resignations and or retirements, in Ms. Seidler and Ms. Johnson. Continuing, motion to approve the following staff unpaid leave for next school year: Kelsey Benio, Title I teacher, RTI tutor. Item K is onboarding instruction over the summer months for Bus Garage. with Mr. Dunn and Ms. Kramer on $25 to help teach driving for the buses. Item L, motion to approve the following employees as itinerant custodians over the summer months and into next school year, and that's Mr. Samsa and Mr. Boutros. Item L, motion to approve the following staff member for Success by Six, which is going extremely well, and that's Miss Elder, saw her yesterday and today. Continuing, item N, motion to approve the following classified personnel for summer band camp. Ms. Stafford doing day camp, Ms. Kennedy doing the night practices, and then Ms. Donady if the other two need a substitute. So we have, that's for a student that is in band that just needs some additional supports. Continuing, substitute bus driver, item O, motion to approve Mr. Dunn for a substitute bus driver. Looking at item P, motion to revise the following ESSER tutor position for this current year. And the staff member there, the original approval was for 950 hours, and the new approval, some field trips and so forth, kind of extended those hours. So we had to revise what the original approval was and add those additional hours. You can see there the original and the new approval for the pay period in May 24.
Does anybody have any questions on those items? There was none, we just need a motion to approve those consent agenda items.
I'll move.
Terry moves,
I'll second.
Elizabeth seconds, all in favor? Opposed? Consent agenda items carried. Now on to Mr. Nero for the, we're looking for a motion to approve the Condoc Xerox lease.
Yeah, I know, Mr. Pagnotta, I went through, went through some of the bids, we've got a lot of calls over the last, 9 months from
Mhm.
vendors, I'd say probably close to 15, so I know we reached out to about 3 or 4. So Condoc came in, we were pretty competitive, and actually came down on some of their cost per copy that they got.
Correct, yeah, they were the best overall lease cost and best overall cost per impression for copiers. So, and they are the company that we have dealt with for 5 years previously, so good fit for us.
So I'd like to have a motion to approve the Condoc Xerox agreement. Tyler moves.
Second.
Jack seconds, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. A motion for transfer of funds as listed below, that's what we talked about with the cafeteria, you wanna elaborate on that anymore?
No, if you guys have any additional questions, like I said, essentially there's some changes that they were looking at where we can't end the year, cause it's a different, it's considered an enterprise fund, so, that's part of the change. And then the junior and senior class just won't move funds down as the classes graduate. And then the other two is for, hosting tournament games, somebody had a deposit to the account, moved it to the outlet fund.
Okay, thank you. A motion for those, transfers?
I'll move.
Elizabeth moves.
I'll second.
Terry seconds, all in favor? Opposed? The fund transfers carried. Inventory removal of textbooks. We listed, books down below, I think we got a list and a letter from the
Yeah, a couple.
supervisors.
Yeah, I think it's just Chandler and, Mr. Winshire reached out, they had older textbooks on being used, so they put on a list, just for me here.
So we just need a motion to dispose of those textbooks?
Where are they going? When we say dispose,
Just, go, they're old, but they get with, custodial staff, dispose of them properly.
I think a lot of them that I was reading were like one of each, of a few, like a lot of these are just one of
oh,
each.
so they're just worn out books, it's not like a series that's obsolete or?
I don't, I think
Probably some of them are series, some of them are
Series.
old curriculum that's not board approved anymore. What happens is, over the years, you just approve new curriculum and your space gets taken up on your shelves.
Okay.
I'll move.
Tyler moves.
I'll second.
Elizabeth seconds, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. A motion for scrap and recycling, motion to authorize the Director of Facilities and Technology to sell pallets recycled metals and technology to the three companies listed there. Do you wanna add anything to that, or?
Basically, it's, you know, things that we collect here, things we're getting rid of, you know, outdated, equipment. Do it for the computers, do it for scrap, everything gets turned into the treasurer's office, they're notified when we're gonna go. We take a load down, we bring back the receipts, so it's kinda routine.
If there's no questions, we just need a motion for that. Jack moves.
I'll second.
Tyler seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. A motion to accept, excuse me, the donations for the 23-24 school year totaling $80,280.03. What would you like to highlight? We appreciate them all.
And it was, again, going forward, I think, Dr. Swan kind of talked about through them throughout the year, instead of going at the end, so highlight a little bit there. Essentially, it's critical donations.
Okay, so we just need a motion to approve those donations.
I'll move.
Tyler moves.
I'll second.
Terry seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. The superintendent's regular agenda motion for the nutrition compliance report. Do you have anything you wanna add to that, or?
Yeah, that's his policy. We have to, communicate, put on the website, we have to identify that we have a nutrition report. And we work with, Caitlin's group essentially to go through and identify what's involved with the wellness, how we're spending wellness funds, which is the next motion you'll see.
So Elizabeth had the initial motion. Then we just need a second to continue.
I'll second.
Terry seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. The student wellness and success planning for the fiscal 24 and 25 years.
I'll move.
Sorry, I'm just reading the notes down here. Tyler moves.
I'll second.
Elizabeth seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Item C, the agreement between the South Range Education Association and South Range Local Board of Education. This motion would approve and adopt the agreement between the South Range Education Association and the local Board of Education effective July 1st, 24 through June 30 of 25. Just need a motion to approve that agreement. Jack moves.
I'll second.
Tyler seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. The agreement between the South Range Classified Employees Association and the Board of Education, same dates through July 1st, 24 through June 30th, 25. Elizabeth moves.
I'll second.
Terry seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Then a motion to approve the same 3% for non-bargaining personnel for the 24-25 school year, with the exception of the superintendent and treasurer.
I'll move.
Tyler moves.
Oh, second.
You have Terry seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. The peak performance contract for athletic training for the 24-25 school year.
Yeah, so I've been in contact with Greg Huffman for peak performance physical therapy, and he just wanted to be, you know, he loves South Range, wants to be involved here. One of his partners is near retirement, so he can't do everything. So he was just wanted to send my appreciation. He loves South Range to you guys, to the community, to the athletes, and has all intentions to continue to partner with us. But with one person, you know, and he's way up in T County, so he was just saying he hope continue for long term, but if he can't find someone else to really get involved, we'll have to possibly look in the future, a couple years down the road, of possibly looking for other athletic trainers. Right now, we're good for the short term, but he wanted me to at least let the board know that he can't do it all, you know. His partner is on for a few more years, and wanted to give us a heads up.
So we're okay for this year,
Yeah.
though?
So a motion to approve peak performance.
I'll move.
Terry moves.
Second.
Elizabeth seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. The MOU between the South Range Local Board of Education and the South Range Education Association to continue offering the girls golf supplemental position for the 24-25 school year. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so this agreement goes back a few years when there were a few females interested in golf. And at that time, the number wasn't quite as much to have a full team, which there's set numbers in Ohio Athletic Sports Association to have a golf team. So at that time, because of Title IX and we have to provide fair and equitable resources to both genders, we created a assistant golf position, which is what this MOU is, at a certain percentage. So this current MOU is the same as that. However, if there is enough to have a team by the first performance, the first golf match, which is August 6th, 4th, something like that, then this coach could possibly get up to 10% based on the full team participation like the boys. So right now, we have it at 4, depending on how many girls actually sign up and stay with it in our official team. If it's an official team, then this coach would get a 10% comparable to the boys.
So it moves from the assistant.
It would still be assistant, but they would get a 10% just like the boys.
So you wouldn't be adding additional assistants, it would just be transfer.
Yeah, we would just take that 4% up to a 10% because they have enough for a full team.
Okay.
And essentially, one would take the girls' team and the other would take the boys, but in pay, it's the same. It's the same.
I'll move.
Tyler moves.
Second.
Elizabeth seconds. All in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. And this time we would welcome anybody for public participation for non-agenda items. So, since there's none, we can move to other matters. The first item, special board meeting for the fiscal year end procedures has been scheduled. The notification will be going out shortly if it hasn't, right?
Either by end of either Friday or Tuesday.
Okay. That date is gonna be June 27th at 5 PM in the Board of Education office, just to approve the fiscal year end closures.
Yeah, those ones, yeah, we, quick meeting, just certain procedures to be approved. I think Brian, you're gonna be out.
I will be out of town, I will be.
And I'm out also, you guys won't get done
Oh, yeah.
before.
Yes, as long as you have 2 or 4, you'll be okay. The next item, the following, so July board meeting, everybody can check their calendars, we're scheduled July 17th, again at 5 PM due to some conflicts later in the evening. That will be same place, Casewell Library. And we will post a special meeting notice due to the time change, it's a regular meeting, but since it's a different time, we have to post a special meeting notice. Any other questions? At this point, I would like to ask for a motion to enter executive session for the evaluation, employment, and compensation of personnel. And I'll say after that, we're just gonna come out and close out the meeting, there's not gonna be any further actions taken after that, so you're welcome to stay. If not, we're just gonna come out and close the meeting. So we just need a motion to enter executive for that